Welcome back. Teresa Oh is 90 years old, and her story is one of tenacity. She says she has always believed in fighting for what is right, and it's a fire that began in the way her childhood unfolded in the Philippines, a fire that is the backbone of this Wisest Generation story. Teresa was just 2 years old when her mother died. Her father, wanting to make a better life for the family, soon went to the U.S. But before the rest of the family could join him, World War II broke out, sending Teresa and her family into hiding, often staying on the move for a week or two at a time.
And I never forget that. And I think it is really hard to say, but that's part of it when we go from one place to another to hide. Oh yes, there was one night when we would have been the next one to be killed. 19 people was killed in that house, including the kids.
You're kidding.
And then we got out in our pajamas and we walked slowly and we got out of it. And that would have been, we would have been next, but I think the Lord was watching us. It sure teaches me that life is too short and we really have to live whatever it comes, because really you cannot guess. You just have to live day by day and be more patient.
The war kept Teresa and her father apart, so when it ended and she was finally able to come to the U.S., she was in her early 20s and found herself standing at the airport searching for a father she had never really met.
That was the first time I saw my father. There were 19 Filipinos standing in the airport at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I said, now I don't know which one is my father, but the first one is gonna be my father, sure enough. And I said, oh, so you're my dad.
Teresa attended the University of Washington on a student visa.
I wrote to Senator Magnuson and Senator Jackson when I was a junior in college, and I asked them if I'm a student visa, if I could change my visa to an immigrant. And it took about 2 years for the bill to pass in Congress. I have a little bill in Congress, on my behalf.
Teresa graduated with a degree in pharmacy. She met her husband, a research engineer, as students at the UW. They had 4 children and were married for 56 years before he passed in 2015.
Gee, I have not seen these pictures for ages.
But her tenacity was a driving force throughout the years, from fighting for the rights of students as a member of the Bilingual Commission to even more recently when she broke her hip. Teresa took one look at the bill for the ambulance ride, over $1,200, she says, for a 5-minute ride, and made some calls.
The next thing I know, the bill was only $250. So I paid that right away because I said, see, it pays to complain.
But it sounds like, from your experience, when something upsets you or angers you or strikes you as unfair, you do something about it.
I do something about it. I just don't sit there and let it go. I have to find out why.
Do something, a mantra that even applies to her approach on health.
And I tell my kids too, because I said, if you want to live longer, you exercise and you eat good. You don't eat all sugar. Sugar is not good for you. Yeah, I dance Hawaiian dance, Tahitian. When the music goes, there goes my body.
Her advice for parents echoes her advice on living life.
I advise them that you really have to be with your kids and know what is going on, and then if things doesn't go well, you complain.
And Teresa is still incredibly tenacious and still dancing at the lakeshore in South Seattle where she lives. So I asked her also what the secret was to a long marriage, 56 years. Oh. She said when one of you is talking, the other one should be quiet. And she said, and that is what he did.
Happy wife, happy life.
Happy wife, right? Happy life. So yeah, we really thank her for sharing her story with us. But really, just after everything she went through in her childhood, she said she really learned early on, you have to take things moment by moment and fight for what you believe in.
I think that we can use that right now.
All of us.
Yeah, all of us, in a lot of different parts or aspects of our lives.
Sure,
Kaci,
sure.
Thanks. Just about 8 a.m. this morning, and next at 8, states across the country responding to President Trump's new immigration measures.
What we expect to hear in a couple of hours from our state's Attorney General in response.